Hey guys, lots of things were filed today in the Charlie Adelson case. So the first thing I'd like to show you is the order granting the motion to reschedule, which we talked about just yesterday. And this is not surprising. It's been rescheduled to October 12th, and the parties can attend by Zoom. So you can see that there. Should be covered also by Deep Dive True Crime. Okay, the next filing is by Rashbaum. So this is interesting. He is again trying to protect his former clients, who are Donna and Harvey Adelson. He's opposing the subpoenas to Donna and Harvey, saying that too bad it's after the deadline for discovery. So on first glance, it sort of sounded good and sort of convincing. He says that Judge Wheeler's order specifically set the case for trial October 23rd. Discovery deadline was September 22nd. Unless exceptional circumstances exist, the court expected all discovery, including depositions, to be complete by both parties on or before that date. So it was supposedly August 23rd that Rashbaum got a message from the state attorney's office advising that they planned to issue subpoenas to the Adelsons and wanted to confirm the name of their counsel before doing so. Rashbaum says they immediately responded, gave the info for the Adelsons' attorney. They heard nothing more until September 11th when they got an email saying they wanted to interview the Adelsons September 25th or 26th, but that fell on a religious holiday. Then the state proposed October 3rd. They said they can be available then. Typo there. Undesigned counsel understand that the Adelsons, through their attorney, have expressed an intention to invoke the Fifth Amendment during their respective interviews. We take no position on whether their proposed invocation is factually or legally warranted. Instead, the Adelsons' interview should not proceed for a different reason, because this is after the discovery deadline, and the state cannot point to any exceptional circumstances that would justify going beyond it. So then he starts kind of complaining about all the things the poor Adelsons have been through. The state placed pen registers on Adelson's cell phones, issued third-party subpoenas to obtain their call detail reports, bank records and credit card statements, secured authorizations to capture their wire and in-person communications, and conducted surveillance of their movements for weeks on end. It comes after the state released probable cause affidavits accusing the Adelsons of playing a role in Professor Markel's murder and identified them in court filings as Category A witnesses and unindicted co-conspirators. Okay, so, and it comes 16 months after the state arrested the Adelson's son. At no time, in all that time, the state made no effort to interview or depose the Adelsons. Okay, so basically saying no exceptional circumstances exist to justify the state's failure to do so by the discovery deadline. So they should preclude those interviews from going forward. Okay, so I'll take that off the screen, being careful not to show Rashbaum's address and phone number and email. So how does the state respond? Can you imagine how quickly people have been working to respond to all these things? It's probably some bunch of paralegals too stressing out. Okay, so the state responded very briefly just this afternoon. Hope this is showing up on the screen. Okay, so they respond that they did contact Charlie's parents' attorney to discuss possible testimony. That attorney said she expected her clients would invoke their Fifth Amendment rights pursuant to any questions regarding the case. She would confirm that position with her clients and get back to the undersigned. September 22nd, as we know, is when Rashbaum listed Harvey and Donna as potential witnesses in Charlie's defense. They still had no firm answer from the Adelson's attorney. So September 28th, undersigned counsel issued investigative subpoenas to compel Harvey and Donna to either talk or invoke their rights against self-incrimination. Okay, so now they have been advised by Harvey and Donna's attorney that they will not honor the state's investigative subpoenas and are rather invoking their Fifth Amendment rights against self-incrimination. So says it would circumvent justice to permit defendant to call witnesses at trial, which he listed on the discovery deadline, and who were either previously unknown to the state or who previously indicated that they would not be witnesses, and then permit defendant to use the discovery deadline as a sword to preclude the state from knowing the contents of the testimony of those witnesses. If those witnesses are going to testify at trial, they should be compelled to answer questions before trial, as required by law. Otherwise, they should be stricken as witnesses. Wherefore, the state of Florida requests, for the foregoing reasons, that the court deny defendant's motion and permit the state to interview these witnesses prior to trial. Okay, so that's interesting that Rashbaum had to jump into the fray, because originally this was an issue between the state attorneys and Donna and Harvey's current attorney. So it seems like they're all working together as a team. And hopefully the judge will rule in the state's favor, because it does seem like Harvey and Donna were definitely trying to play hardball and try to hide and not show up to answer questions. Okay, so the next thing, which I'm not going to show because it has people's addresses, is notice of a deposition of someone named Gary Cohen. And this is my assumption, and it could be wrong, but I think Gary Cohen is a friend of Harvey's that has known the family a very long time. So if you'll remember, back in 2013, there was an email from Donna to Wendy where she was talking about how Gary's holding this job opening for you, expecting that you will be able to move down to Miami and take this great job in medical malpractice litigation. And in the email, Donna also claims that this is some job that will afford her much greater opportunities, much more salary, and more significant time with her children. So that doesn't make sense at all, because if you know how law firms work, usually when people are associates working for law firms, you do have to stay trapped in the office, or else you're going to be traveling potentially to take depositions, just basically running nonstop. There's constant work. You're not going to have more time with your kids compared to some cushy clinical law professor job. I recall Lacasse or someone saying that Wendy only had to teach a couple of times a week. It was a very, very nice job where she certainly didn't have to stay stuck in an office 40 to 60 hours a week like she would if she worked for a law firm. So anyway, that's who I think this person is. I have no idea what this person could possibly say at a deposition, but it is scheduled with the state next Tuesday. So Tuesday afternoon in the state attorney's office in West Palm Beach. All right, so that's all for today. Hopefully you guys will tune in for the live stream comedy show, which hopefully will be more entertaining than these legal documents. Really appreciate you guys for all your support, the people who actually post supportive, nice, grateful comments to me, since I am doing this basically for peanuts, maybe like 50 cents to $5 an hour for my time. So thank you guys for being supportive, still watching, still caring about justice for Dan.